Hi guys, so for today's Busted Out, I'm going to try out this old set of Anna Griffin stamps. Now, I don't even know the name of this. I mean, this is old, and it came in a kit. It wasn't just like this, I don't think. Sorry, I was just pondering about how old this would be. I don't think it came in a kit, because if it came in a kit, I would have kept the other stuff with it, unless it came like with a cuddle bug or something, which I doubt. I don't see why it would have. It doesn't matter. Super old. But if I have any links in the description box for any of the other items I'll be using, those are affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission for your purchased items to those links. So if you guys know, on Wednesdays, I have Busted Out. I was doing something similar before I started calling it Busted Out, but it's been almost like a couple years now that we've been doing Busted Out, basically. And then on Fridays, I do Freeform Friday, where I try to also use the things I already have in my stash. Sometimes it'll be new things. But Busted Out is definitely older stuff. And I actually have these in the garage, and every time I go out there, I have, you know, a lot of craft stuff out there too. I always think, oh yeah, I just have this. No, I have like a whole other craft room out in the garage, but just things that where I would say the temperature and things don't hurt it. But we have pretty mild temperatures, so it's not a big deal. But I don't really put like paper and stuff out there. But anyway, I keep seeing them, and I'm like, I should use these. And so let's just open it up and take a quick peek. And, oh gosh, this is one thing that's scary. I know recently I had tried another set of her stamps, and they stuck to the carrier. They wouldn't even come off the carrier anymore, so, ooh, we might have an issue already. Again, like I said, they're really old. Okay, oh, if I can get them off the carrier, I'll be happy. Yes, okay, at least that happened. So, I don't know if you can see what's going on here. There's lots of pretty things on here. Beautiful background. So again, since I don't really have stamps, or not stamps, what's the word? Dies for these, what I'm going to do is probably do some kind of something fun, I don't know, like background-ish. We have these like larger square pieces, like this guy over here, little flowers. Oh, look at this one, this is nice. So if that stamps really well, that's awesome. The circular one, by this beautiful shape, we have the word friends and sweet and my family. Like really, really pretty fun. I mean, the floral and the butterfly, I just love this. So this will be really great. Oh gosh, I just hope it stamps. Smile, bliss, these are ancient. And the reason it even occurred to me is because I had recently mentioned that I picked up her Banner Day Stampin' Dies, which I also picked up the actual stickers that she makes that are like just Banner Day, you know. And those are still in the mail. I guess they're on their way. And so we'll see. But what bummed me out is that the comments on those are already that the stamps aren't great, and I always remember that her stamps aren't great. Like, they're acrylic, which is fine because lots of companies make acrylic, but they're just like a weird acrylic. Like you saw, they were stuck. I have old stamps from other companies that do not stick to the carrier. Like, at least I got it off. I'm happy about that. I know when I did that punch around the page kind of thing, that was hers. I couldn't even get it off the carrier. And what's funny is that people who had left comments were like, oh, it never came off the carrier, like even to begin with, like when they first used it. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, there's that. But, you know, so it's kind of a bummer to hear that, but we'll try them again with the acrylic, depending on the softness. Like, you can feel it. They're softer than like a photopolymer stamp is a little more rigid. You don't want to squish it too hard when you go to stamp it. So that's another issue. So maybe, you know, hopefully if people didn't return it and they can see, I mention it here and there. I know other people had said that they've known that about acrylic stamps. You don't really want to press it too super hard because you'll get a ghosting, because it's like squishing it, right, instead of just the very edge of this touching your paper. And then I have these little cards. I think they're A2 card bases that are super old too, and I haven't watched the video yet because I haven't had time, but I know I know my pal on here, Yana Smakula, did a video the other day saying like to emboss your whole card base, and I was like, oh, that's a smart idea. I know that's gonna make it so you can't really write on the inside, right, because it's all embossed, the whole card base is embossed. But I thought this might work. These actually feel big. What is this? Oh, this is a weird size. What? 4.5 by 6.25. Here it says 4.75 of the cards and envelopes by 6.5. I have no idea what this is. The paper company. I feel like I got this at Michael's. I don't even know. These are weird, but okay, we'll go with it. So we have a weird size thing. I'm going to emboss this. Now, like I said, I haven't watched her video. I don't know if she made the card base from scratch or what, but actually now knowing this is a weird size, I might have to cut it down. Let me see. Let me grab an embossing folder. And the reason this works is because they have those huge embossing folders. Spellbinders. Yeah, no, it's going to be too tall. So I'll probably cut this down then, which is, I was just going to go with whatever size this is, but that's okay. We'll cut it down. Let me see, how big can this go? This can go 5.5 wide. So I'm just going to cut this down to a regular standard A2 size. Also, there's a lot of things going on, guys. I'm getting into the project. I want to say thank you guys so much. I think we just hit 29,000 subscribers, just over that. So, thank you. I mean, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate every single one of you. I know there's a lot of new people. I, do my own thing. I just like to play and have fun with whatever I have here in my craft room. Of course, I've, saved things over 20 some odd years of paper crafting. Do reviews for companies that I know are reliable and good, and I don't just like jump at every chance, because there are companies and other things that are like, oh, can you do this, can you do that, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, because I don't want to bog down the channel also with just like reviews after review after review, even though that's what I do, because even when I try out things I own, I always call it a review, because that's what we're doing, right? Tutorial and stuff. So that's fine, but I don't want to make it so that it just seems like one big commercial here, right? Which is not my intention. And my name is VianneyCreates, and I get that question often, how do you pronounce your name? And things like that. So again, I don't ever really prepare my videos. I just go for it, and that's including reviews for companies or whoever. However, I just open it up right here with you guys, and we get to it. So that threw me off. I could feel that this card base was bigger. I was like, The other thing, I want to apologize for that Spellbinders video where I lost the glimmer die. I have no idea. I still haven't found it. And I've looked through the trash even. Like I said, I didn't even go to the trash can, but I was like, okay, maybe it was still stuck to a foil. Maybe I didn't realize. Like, I looked through every single little piece of foil. I looked all over the place. So having said that, one of my friends on here said, oh, that happens to me all the time too, until I got the tonic magnetic carrier of this thing. And I'm like, yeah, I could have kicked myself, because I'm always like, oh, I need to put this out, I need to put this out. So what I'm going to do from now on is have this thing ready to go. I'm just going to have it open. It's just a magnetic, I don't even know if oh, look, I still have a die from the other day sitting here, I need to put away. But it just sticks on, and it's made in a way, I already did a whole review tutorial or review on it, that easels like this. But of course, that takes up a good amount of space here in your craft area. So for me, I'm just going to keep it open and flat and to the side right here. And when I use things, I will drop them on there, because I cannot believe I did that. No, I was honestly embarrassed, because it's like, what are you going to do? It's for a review, and it's like, I can't just not make the video. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just push on. So I am sorry, guys. But anyway, let's trim this down to a regular A2 size, which is kind of a bummer, but that's okay. By 4 1/4, so 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. I should have taken a little off both sides, because I can see the card base itself was already done kind of crooked. All right, paper company, whatever that was. Put that out kind of funny. Okay, like I said, I wasn't sure. I don't know if she did the whole thing at once, because honestly the whole thing would fit on here, but I don't want to obliterate this line here. So what I'm going to do is 1/2 and 1/2. So I'm going to put it through here, paying attention to where that score line is, so that the embossing goes right to the edge. Okay, so I'm looking at the score line, I'm looking where the embossing stops, and I'm putting it right on there. And I'm just going to run this through, and then I'll do the same thing for the other side. And then that means we're going to layer something on the inside. Ooh, sorry guys. So that you can still write a sentiment. This kind of reminds me of one of my friends here that sent me a card, and I took inspiration with that, because I thought, oh, that is so cool. She put the same die cut on the slimline on the back of the card, and I thought that was, I never thought to do that. So, ooh, we're hearing a squeaking, guys, sorry. And that's what this reminds me of. So when you might think, like, why would you want to emboss the back of your card? Like, I mean, look at that, just as a card base. How pretty. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I don't do that more often. I guess because I always mat and layer, so like to me, I don't just start off from the card base, but that works really well. I assume you can probably do this with any, I'll say with like a slimline one, but obviously there's only 3 1/2 or 4, depending on, But if you had like this, or an A2 size, the kind that open this way, the long way, you know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can find it like this. You can always just take that, put your card base in it, roll it through, and I would roll it through still like this, but if you have a smaller machine, you can definitely fold it over. It's going to do a little something wonky, but hey, it's worth a try. Okay, so that's really pretty. So I'm just going to do the other side exactly the same. I'm just going to go like this. Anyway, it definitely has a hand feel. Like I was trying to Okay, that's the other thing. I forget sometimes what I was talking about. So you might think like, why do you want to emboss the back? It's because you're going to feel it, and it's going to feel nice because it's going to feel different, right? So just that hand feel of, you're like, oh, and then you notice, oh, the back is, you know, embossed too or whatever. So again, I'm going to put this right to the edge, basically catching right on the edge, and I'll run this through again. And then I'm going to grab some papers and see what are we going to do about this. Honestly, I'm not even sure why I'm embossing this because I'm pretty much going to cover up a lot of it. But it's okay. It's just something to be in the background. Because again, I want to bring in those stamps after that. So there is. And yeah, it definitely feels like cool on the back side of it. And again, you can use the other way too. Oh, look how cute. That's kind of accidental, but it looks really lovely on the inside. Aww. Maybe on the inside, you just put a little small something to write your sentiment. That way you can still see a lot of what's going on. That'd be nice. Okay, let me think about what I want to do and I'll be right back. I don't know, I just went through tons of my papers. I don't really know what I want to do. And I ended up, I'm not kidding, I spent about 10 or 15 minutes looking for papers. I ended up with this, which makes no sense. Just some plain kind of paper. It's super old, but I think, oh, that's so pretty. I love those colors. I'll use this kind of ivory-ish one in the back. And I think what I'll do is die cut it so we still see a lot of the embossing. I was kind of wondering, like, why did I do the embossing? Especially the flowers are kind of more contemporary, where this is kind of like old school, but that's okay. So I think what I'm going to do is take this, and then I cut it down, which you guys know, with Anna we usually go a little bigger. But going to see about, ooh, yeah, that's not gonna work. I just saw the clock dies. I'm like, yes, but no, we cannot use clock dies today. Oh, should we go with broke frame? Let's see how big or small this is. You guys, I keep things all different ways. Like I have some in here, I have some in the diamond press thing, I have some in cases, like those art bin cases. I have some, and people ask all the time, how do you store it? It's like, don't ask me, because I have the worst way of storing things. Let me see. Yep, too big. Okay, let me go dig through some things and find something that'll work for this. Fun. I went on a journey in my craft room, and actually these were all together. I was like, oh, I never used the small die from December 2021. I think that'll be cute because it brings some whimsy back in, and then we'll still do some stamping. But what I'm going to do is, oh man, what should we do? Okay, so this die, the sketch florals and frame, what I'm going to do is cut this out in black. So let me grab some black paper that I always have handy because I use black all the time, but that doesn't work that way. Okay, so we'll go this way, and then I'll run it through again from this one, but just so, oh, actually I'll probably run the whole thing, that way I can use that beige die, the beige frame on something else. But I'm going to keep this inner part. See how this inner part cuts out too? And that's what we'll stamp the Anna Griffin stamps on, okay? So I'm going to run those two through and I'll be right back. This die is so awesome. So I'm just going to pop everything out. I mean, look how pretty that is. So maybe I don't know if I need, I was thinking a drop shadow, but that doesn't really help us today. But look, oh my gosh. Definitely using that another time. I'm going to put that on my die saver, magnetic board. And I'll be right back. Okay guys, so let's see. So this is just a lot of things, a lot of different styles. I'm just trying to pull it all together. So we have our little card base here, and I'll come in just a little bit. And then we have the frame. So I don't know that I'm gonna put the frame exactly in where it belongs, like pop it back in like this. I think maybe we want to, well, I guess I can put the whole thing more artsy. Yeah, that's fine. I was thinking about popping this up, but you know what? I mean, it's gonna hang off the edges. That's the only thing. So when you put it in your envelope, you don't really want to do that, right? So we can put it a little bit, as much sideways as I can. I was thinking about maybe doing that, and then when we decorate this one, just have it plain. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like a fun frame, but you can also have it going towards the frame. Either way, we're going to use that. And then I was thinking, oh man, what color am I going to stamp this stuff in? But hello, it doesn't have to be just black or brown. So I was thinking, okay, black because the frame is black. Let's do pink. So I'm going to put this here, put that there. This is going to be very artsy, so I do not care what happens or how this turns out. I want it to be kind of rustic, and that's kind of why I'm even using textured paper. Like, this is textured paper, so it's not going to take the stamp like 100%, you know? But maybe I'll still use a stamping press. Will I? Not so much because I'm going to repeat it. Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna do the stamping press. Hopefully I just have blocks that are big enough. I'll pull out my close to my heart blocks from back in the day and like these Inka Dinka Do ones, whatever I got. That'll work. So I just want to have some fun with this. So like I was thinking definitely of using this one. Oh goodness. What I'm thinking about too is if it, let's say it didn't want to come off this, I could just ink up this area like I do. Just leave it like this, ink it up, bring our paper to it and massage it. But hopefully I can get it off of this carrier. Yeah, so it sounds like whatever material she uses, she's still using it. But you can hear that? It's not tearing, so that's good. And then maybe I'll do a trial run before we actually get started. Because this is just going to hit it wherever anyway. So let's see. And I think about using a bigger ink pad, but that's okay. I'm going to use this. This is like one of my favorite colors from the die and press. It's like that pinky coral color that's in their pastel ink kit. And again, this is going to be kind of whatever. I'm going to stamp it on a practice piece. I never really have like throwaway paper. I always keep papers that I want to use later, but not really. Hey, we'll stamp on the back of this. Just to see what we got. It is very, what's that word? Like, it wants to roll off, as you can see. But that's okay. Now, this is another thing. So, when we talk about acrylic stamps, photopolymer stamps, pretty much they have a dispersion layer when you first use them. Maybe you want to wipe it off with a little alcohol, a little something, soap and water, rub it on your ink pad really well and stamp off a few times, or use your shirt, anything to get that little stickiness off. Now with these guys, sometimes they're a little rough, and so what you can do is take like a very fine buffing block, and I have one here, it is. And I'm talking about like the kind you use for your nails, and just go over it, which I never really do because honestly I don't even want to bother with that. But you can do that. Another thing is just to take maybe an eraser. I don't really have a good pen eraser to show you guys, but just your eraser and go over. And it just gives it like a rubberiness, like it makes it a little more tactile so that it holds onto the ink better. Lots of different ways people like to prepare these kind of stamps. I just go for it and whatever happens, happens because you know how I am. But let's say I'm just going to put this here, and this is just really kind of avant-garde. Just going to see what's going on. So I'm giving it a good push. Again, now I'm holding this. I'm not like super squishing it on top of that. This is squishy, so it's going to come back up. But, oh, that's very pretty. Very pretty. Let me clean this guy off. And generally, you wash them, but for now I'm just wiping it. So I was able to get it off the carrier, which is awesome. It doesn't feel like anything weird is going on here. It's just, you know, that's just how it is for some reason. It just really sticks to that. I wanted to use this butterfly, but it's not really going to work for me. Well, maybe it will. Let's see. And I'm going to use the same color. And I'm going to stamp it off just to see what's up. That one worked quite a bit better. But it's still, you know, trying to repel things. And maybe just there. And the reason, you know, oh, that's so pretty, you guys. I mean, they're Anna's designs, which we know we love. Gorgeous. I should keep these in here now. And now that I've used it and taken it off once, look, it's, you know, it sticks really well. And it's not doing anything crazy, so that's great. And then we have all these words. I mean, it's always fun to kind of put some words in the background too. Oh, you know what we can do? Because I brought out something else, but hold on. We're going to do some second generation stamping, which I haven't done in a long time. So you stamp it, you get rid of it once, and then you come in and you can kind of, I don't know where I want to put this. Ugh, maybe down here. And it's just like the smallest kiss of a word, okay? So let's say, we have the word sweet. So now that I brought words in, I'm gonna have to do that a little more. Because I'm just gonna, the only thing I'm gonna put on top of this is, just a little word here and there. And then maybe one more in this bottom corner. We have smile. There we go. There, and maybe here. Usually I stamp things off the page, so I'm doing the S a little bit off, just so that you can kind of have an idea that it's going to say smile, right? Even though it looks like mile at this point, but cute. Okay, let me clean up. I'll be right back. Okay. So I have this guy. Again, I'm still debating. Do I want to do something fun like that, or just... You can just leave it in the background, I guess. Okay, I'm not going to do any inking because everything's really clean lines, you know, so I'm just going to keep it that way. But if you want to do inking, I think that would look lovely too. I'm going to go ahead and stick this down, even though I probably should wait till I have everything cut, but that's okay. Because I was like, maybe I will change my mind and make it do something like this. I don't know, I kind of like that. But at the same time, if it's like this, then we put our words the straight way, then that just looks good too. I don't know. Okay. We're going to do some stuff here. I'm going to put glue on the back of my hand because that's just what I prefer to do for things like this. And also we need to make sure we have a good amount of glue because we have that embossed background. And of course that means it needs to make connection as well as you can. So I'm really trying to dip in there. And as sideways as I can make this without sticking too much out of the card base. A little more this way. A little more down this way. Okay. So I'm going to keep holding that. It's coming out a little bit right here, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to hold this down for just a minute, but at the same time I'll put this down. Yeah, even this cardstock is super old, guys. Like, super old. Okay. I'm going to do something like that, and I'll be back. That to help me with the glue, but to also make sure my little wrought iron frame kind of thing is really stuck down. And get the glue off. My friend here, Marilyn, said that she had forgotten that she had put glue and it dried, you know? And then she went to put lotion on, and then it started coming off, and then she was like, oh, well, maybe that's a good way to get that off. So a lot of times I'll let it dry, but when it's not completely dry yet, I just go like this and it comes off. Or, you know, you wash your hands. Or wait till it dries. Sometimes I just peel it off. It just depends, I guess, how thin or thick you have it on your hand. So I have both of these. You know, I have not thinking of you. I have this set. It says thinking of you, but it has just a lot of words. You know, wishes, happy. I mean, there's just a ton of words on here. I wish on the back here it would say what the words are. But sympathy, wishes, sending, congrats. You know, you have an idea. And then this one has thicker pieces where you can layer them up, which was what I was thinking I wanted. Again, this is from September of 2021, the small die, and this is the December 2019 small die of the month. So let me just look at these and kind of play around a little bit and see what I want to do. To finish it off, let's see. Hello, happy, thank you. Oh, it has little flowers too on this one. So I kind of like this one for this situation because, you know, it's mostly background, so this will kind of help us make it a little heftier and bring it to the foreground, like something that you're actually seeing here. So think, and then you with the background. And what I can do is, let's do the very backgrounds out of black, just to bring that back in. Oh, actually, I want to keep this piece of black that cut out of there. I was thinking this might be the piece we put inside, and you use a Milky pen to write with, you know? So let me bring this over here. So backgrounds, thank you, and then the thank you on the top, these pretty ones, I will do out of gold paper, of course. So I'll be right back. And you know me, this is what I'm telling you. I save even little pieces of the gold paper especially. I don't know why. Like, I cut this out before, and then I'm getting this little piece here. And it worked out to hold both of these pieces, so that's great. And then, of course, these guys, and if I had planned this before, I would have left the glue on the back of my hand. Ooh, look at, you know, I've noticed this recently, and maybe it's not the best thing to put glue on the back of your hand. It's been leaving red, a little redness, and I was like, ooh, I wonder if I'm developing an allergy to that. It's like when you use acrylics or gel polish or gel stuff too much, and then if it actually gets on your skin too often, you start getting an allergy. It's not doing anything other than that, and it goes away in a few minutes, but, you know, just something to note in case that's something that's happening for you there. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'll use this finer When I have been shaking my Barely Art glue recently because it is a lot more liquid than it used to be, and somebody had mentioned that I had talked about this glue being real watery, and they said it sometimes when it gets exposed to like temperatures, because that's a new one, it just arrived, that it breaks down like that. So, or cold temperatures. So I don't know. And then this Barely Arts one has just been sitting here, and it's been here for a long time. So I wonder if that also, once it's open. And so I've been shaking it because maybe some of the stuff settles down. You never know. So I give it a shake and then I use it. All right, I'll do the same thing with the U, and I'll be right back. Those two. And like I said, these aren't like the biggest letterings, but that's cute. I'm trying to think if I want to finish it off with like some of those little flowers that are in this set, you know, dies. Oh, this one has flowers too, though. Let me look and think about. Oh, it's so pretty. But of course, these are all paper pieced back in and all that. So anyway, let me look at the flowers that are in these different sets and see if I want to add a little something more. Okay, so if I have the thank you there, I'll just get some little flowers from this guy. And I think what I'm going to do is cut two of that, two of this one. And if I put like a larger flower here, a little one there, and then maybe some of the leaves. And for the centers, I'll use like a little gem or a pearl or something. So these leaves I'll cut from. Do I want to do some greenery? Maybe I'll unchoose green. It's just that it's a lot of pink, white, and black, and I kind of want to keep it that way. Or not white, but like off-white. So this is this shimmery kind of pearl paper. We'll see. I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So let's see here. So for these guys, I don't know that... Well, should we do a little shaping? Sometimes when they're small like this, I don't do too much, but like maybe I'll go around. This is just a quilling tool. It's just kind of rounded. And I'll do that with all of them, I suppose. Just give them a little something. So I'm rounding them backwards, and then I'm going to push this down so it pops up. And I'll do the same thing with all of them. And then just to glue them together, I will... This one. And this little guy. Just put a little glue in there. I haven't decided if I'm going to use the leaves or not, but I did cut them out of green pearlescent paper, have them ready to go. And this guy, again, offset. So that you see both rows of petals. Little cutie. And then this guy here too. That looks pretty good. Okay, I'll wait for those to set up and I'll be back. So let's see what we got. I do have the little centers. They're green because they cut out with the flowers, but I'm not sure that I'm going to keep that together. And since we embossed everything, it's kind of wanting to pop up on me. So I'm going to stick that down for a second just so I can keep that closed. And I was going to have this kind of going off the side, but I don't know. Maybe I will put it right down the center there. And then we'll put our little flowers. I was thinking about popping this up, but not gonna. Alright, there we go. Just keeping an eye and seeing how I would like that. Again, since I put the frames crooked, like sideways, it always throws me off. Like, okay, is that straight? Or is that straight compared to the crookedness? Like, I don't know. So something like this, I'm not super concerned, but if I was, I would bring out my little T-square. I can put it against there. Now, it would have to be like with this. Hey, that's not bad, huh? Pretty good? Okay. And then this one, I'm trying to put it against the card base, sorry. There we go. That looks pretty good on both of them, maybe a little bit lower. If I can still finagle this one a little bit. Right about there. Okay. And then I'll pop my little flowers here and there. I wanted the larger one there and the smaller one there, I think. And what I'm going to do is just put a little glue in the very center because I haven't put the leaves down, and I don't know if I'm going to use the leaves, but I feel like I need to. Something like that. And then we have these little guys. Oh man, I was going to say, do I have my tweezers? Miranda needed them the other day. Okay, she used a different pair. She likes to do perler beads, and she misplaced her own little tweezers that she has for that. But if I can grab these guys, kind of see what I would like to do maybe. Oh, let's go. I'm trying to get it from this side. I don't know. Where's my other little leaf? So cute. Oh, those are the others. Is that the large one? Is that the small one? Where's my other one? Okay, well, I'm going to play with these and see what I want to do. And if I decide to use them, I'm just going to place a little glue, you know, like this kind of thing, and pop it in. I guess we are going to use them because I redid it, didn't I? Okay, I'll be back. Sorry about I know sometimes the lighting blows out anything that's like very light colored, but there it is. Ooh, I like it. Okay, I'm going to find my other little leaf, pop it in. Okay, that's a little something. And then just to finish off these centers, oh, this is so tough because again, I didn't want to introduce a bunch of colors, but I kind of went there anyway, didn't I? I mean, I can do a pink center, which is maybe a little bit odd if it's a pink flower. Should we just go with pearl and pearl? Also, there's that one, or should we go with this larger one for this guy? Alright, we'll just keep it pearl, I guess. Oh, whenever I use this to pick these guys up, I should mention, I push at it so that it brings the stickiness with it. Because if you just pick at the top, sometimes you'll pop it off of its sticky base. So I'm pushing like kind of at the base and push it so that both pieces come up together at the same time. I don't know if that's a useful tip, but just something. So yeah, I'm just trying out, again, busted out, brought out a bunch of different things for this one. I think it came out really sweet, a little bit artsy, a little different. I love the Anna Griffin stamp set. I mean, it's really pretty. And then, like I said, I was thinking about popping this in here, and that could be the area you write on. Again, bringing that little artsiness to the inside. You can frame this one out again too, right, with a what's that thing called? A milk pen. And I think that's fun. So I'm just gonna pop it in here. Why not? I'm just phoning this one in at this point. And I'll put it sideways too. Why not? I was gonna put it straight up and down. So now you have a card that's tactile, it's embossed all around, it looks really pretty on the inside with all that texture, and then your little area to write on, and then the outer frame and everything itself. So thanks for watching, guys. If any of these items are still available, I will link them in the description box. I mean, initially in my mind, I was like, oh, the Anna Griffin one you're never going to find. But I did use some items from like Spellbinders, which I know they do keep in... not keep in stock. If they're there, they're there, you know, if they have extra overstock from before. So, alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll have some images coming up. I'll have the links in the description box, and I will see you guys at the next one. Bye now.